Sorry?
Baby If You Give It To Me.
What?
Busta Rhymes?
Busta Rhymes.
And Mariah Carey.
Personally.
Oh, yeah.
Baby If You Give It To Me, I'll give it to you.
Oh, oh yeah. Oh my god, that's really long time ago. Oh my god, I didn't even. Did you know that Mariah Carey has a new book coming out? She has a new book coming out, huh? She has.
I have it pre-ordered.
Sorry?
Pre-ordered.
No,
It's coming.
seriously.
I've got. No, I don't.
Oh, too bad. You know what the book is called? It's The Meaning of Mariah. Oh, come on.
Hot stuff.
Oh, come on.
I know you're gonna buy it.
Secretly, you love it. Actually, her last album, Cautious, was actually not that bad. Have you listened to it's actually not that bad. It's like this kind of classical R&B kind of vibe. Yeah.
She has skills to pay the bills. It's true.
So also, are you also Team Britney maybe as well?
Like last time I've listened to what is that album called? It's like one of her first albums. In the Zone. Do you know that?
Oh, yeah.
You know that idea. Come on.
I don't know the whole albums of those artists, to be honest.
No, but come on, let's be honest. That's a good album. That's a good album. That's a good album.
Yeah.
Right?
So what songs are on it? Because I don't know which album it's.
It's with Toxic.
You're a fan of Britney, actually.
I think when I was 11, I thought, what was that one? Every time. I thought that was an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah. Was that one after she came from the Disney club?
Mickey Mouse.
I think she was in the. I think in the music video, she's crying for the whole music video, but it was emotional, and that stayed with me.
Which song?
You know?
Yeah.
Which song? Every time.
Is it something? I think it's something like Every Time. I think it's called Every Time.
And she's crying in the
other
bathroom.
song, like sometimes I cry, sometimes da, 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 sometimes I da, da, da. Isn't that's also
I think this one's a bit like a lullaby. Every time. Da, 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 da. I wish I can't remember the words.
Heavy on the piano.
Bum, bum, bum. It's not the most complicated riff. It's quite
But did you see she's also painting?
She is! Yes! That's what I want to say. Yes! Have you seen her flower paintings, by the way? They're awesome.
Yeah, I think she has is it a free person exhibition? Britney Spears, George Bush,
Yes.
and Jim Carrey.
The art today? No.
No, Jim Carrey as
that's
well.
not happening. But let's
It's not
make it happen. Let's
Oh,
make it
please,
happen.
yes.
Yeah, that would be so nice.
Oh, yes! So Britney Spears, Bush, and
Bush paintings. They're so bad, so they're good.
they're amazing.
Yeah.
I really love them.
Yeah.
They're dog paintings, right?
But
But
they're quite scary.
nothing beats the flower paintings of Britney. Seriously, those are really amazing. And they sell them for I think 20,000 euros.
Oh, Sylvester Stallone as well. Sylvester Stallone is out there painting away, putting the muscle.
Competition.
David Lynch as well, eh?
Uh-huh.
He's good.
He is really good.
I just finished reading a biography about him.
Oh,
His biography.
and
It's called Room to Dream, and it's pretty enjoyable. I'd recommend it. It's not life changing, but pretty enjoyable. Although it could be life changing because he really bangs on about meditation, and I think I'm quite tempted to dip my toes in those waters now. But he sort of gives all credit for all of his creative vision to his meditation practice. It's quite interesting.
well, I must say, like every evening before I go to bed, like I always take. It's not really meditation, let's say, but it's really like I give myself 15 minutes to relax, and I take a shower. I stretch a bit. I'm getting older. I really need to stretch. Really, like the older I get, the more I need to stretch. Seriously.
I've been feeling that too. I've been feeling that. I just stretched like a couple of big campuses, and
Oh, you're probably not that old, are you?
no, I'm 29. My birthday's coming up.
When?
29.
When is your birthday?
Wednesday.
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 Whoa.
Coming
And
up.
you're gonna be 29.
Coming 29, yeah.
Oh, poor guy.
That's quite. It is, yeah. It's like the last year, you know. Got to go hard. I mean, if there was ever a time to, go to South America and take ayahuasca, it might be now.
You don't know how lucky you are.
Have you both? Are you both 30? Are you 30 yet?
I'm gonna be 40 soon.
No way.
seriously,
that's
yeah.
about
Me.
yeah,
I thought I gotta say, I thought I might be older than you both.
Oh, really?
Oh,
No, come
I
on,
thought
man. You
I
have a
might be.
baby face.
Yeah.
we're like Britney's. No.
Yeah.
Because you both studied in Antwerp, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of thought that maybe we had been at school around the same time.
Oh, okay. When did you study?
I finished at Edinburgh College of Art in 2014.
But you went to Ghent, didn't you?
Yeah. I was in Ghent in 2013 for half a year. Oh God, great year. Yeah, well, yeah, great half a year. Bloody great.
Yeah.
That leads me on to my first question for you both. Having, you both having lived and studied in Antwerp, I wanted to know what your favorite Belgian beer was.
Oh, I have so many. I like Sieve. I have a list. Karmalitz is very good. And you?
Orval?
Oh, yeah, Orval.
What about? Yeah, it's good.
Well, Trappist really like Chimay. I love Chimay Bleu.
Yeah.
I liked Pirat. I had Pirat a couple of times. Quite big nights out, really. Yeah, and there was one towards the end of my stay in Belgium that I found that I hadn't had before in the time that I've been living there. I think it was called Valère, Valère or something. But it was in Hot Club in Ghent, Hot Club de Dawn,
okay.
and it was, so it must be fairly mainstream because I don't think they had a very.
That's okay.
They didn't have a very niche brewery or something. It was just they just sort of had what people wanted. But yeah, Orval was a winner, I think.
Really good, yeah. Because you know what the weird thing about in Belgium, I thought it was my first day in Belgium. I think it was around 12 o'clock, and people go there for lunch, and they asked me Rolf, shall we go to lunch? I was like, oh, that's fine. So we went to the little canteen over there. And everybody was drinking wine and beer and all these things. I think oh, is there something to celebrate? And they were like, no, it's just lunch, man. It's like, what?
I remember I think the first day that I met everyone on my course, we went to some bar and I drank Duvel for the first time.
Oh no.
And I was just this just couldn't get enough of it. I was I need to have several of these. And then my friend told me there's some sort of Duvel challenge. You can only have they have a competition to see how many people how much someone can drink in 1 hour. But you have to be able to walk in a straight line after. So I think the record for the most Duvels consumed and a straight line walked in was something like 10 Duvel.
How much did you have then?
I think the first time not too many, maybe 3 or 4, and I was I was gone. But I remember I think over that 7 months, I always had this kind of competition with a very good friend of mine, Kun, and we used to try and drink as many as possible. And he used to buy the Duvel triple hop or the 3-year-old or the 6-year-old Duvel and all this stuff. So we tried to drink as much of it as we could, and I think the most probably about 7 or 8, and then that was just not a good night. I mean, it tastes so much better in Belgium because I've bought it in the UK. You can get it in the supermarkets here, like Tesco's or Sainsbury's, whatever. But it just doesn't taste the same.
Oh, really?
You have it in Brussels in a jazz bar, straight out of almost a freezer. It's really cold. The glasses.
The glasses are also very important with beer because I can remember I took some of my friends, Belgian friends, to Rotterdam. We went out and a waiter came by and was what do you guys want to drink? And there was a guy one of my friends. He says a Chimay, please. He came back with a Chimay, and he says hey, hello, waiter. This Chimay is in a Heineken glass. That's not okay, yeah? And he wants to send it back.
I can totally see that. I was actually in a Belgian bar 2 nights ago, which is quite a novelty with all of the lockdown stuff. To be in a bar, I mean, like we went to this one called the Dove in London Fields, like East London, and bloody great. And I couldn't believe it because I actually no longer drink, and they've started doing alcohol-free Belgian beers.
And it was good.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
and it was good because most alcohol-free beer for the last few years has been like awful.
Yeah.
But now I think it was called maybe like Broughshane or something.
Broughshane,
But like,
yes. Yeah.
but they do an alcohol-free version, and it was great.
Which one do you always drink, Katie? You also during your pregnancy, of course. Like you were having you were having also a good, because I also drank it. It was very good. Which one was it?
I don't remember the names of it because I don't look at them anymore.
Just give me something that tastes like alcohol.
I actually always wanted to study in Antwerp, and I had actually planned to apply to do the masters at St. Lucas in Antwerp because I wanted to study under Yorice Gekier.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you know his work, but but he ended up passing away. He had a big solo show in the Smack in Ghent.
Yeah.
I've got the book. I've brought it out because I've got this really nice book of his, and I've no one to show it to. So I've brought it out.
Great.
Show it. Yeah.
It's called Tomorrow. The show was called Tomorrow.
Yeah.
And let's see. It was a really, really good exhibition. This is, I guess, what gives the title to the show. Maybe Tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
And he made some absolutely killer paintings. This was back in 2015, this show. This gradient painting, so like really nice, trying to get the reflection off. And then this disco ball.
Disco ball.
That's really cool.
But he's one of my favorite recent painters. And then there was like collage materials in the book, so this type of.
Oh, cool.
Yorice Gekier, he made a lot of portraits of like people on webcams. So he made this whole series of portraits of people from webcams, like this girl.
Oh, cool.
And then this big, giant, epic series of paintings of weeds. Which I thought were just they're really incredible because they're like monumental, and I guess like the symbolism of a weed. It's natural. It's naturally just resilient, and it's obnoxious, and it's stubborn. And it's got such brutal force that it just keeps coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And to glorify that in a shrine that was quite like religious iconography, like stretching up and sprawling out. And then also he always used quite like dirty tones, so it's like honestly dirty, but then it's still beautiful and tender. So it's all of these contradictions that I thought was like so nice.
If you want to like go into someone's studio, like an artist studio from the past, who would you like to go into?
In September, I went to this time last year. I went to Rome, and I seen a lot of Caravaggio's paintings.
Yeah,
and that was like I was shell shocked by the power.
What would you do if you meet him?
I would love to just be a fly on the wall.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of talk about like the violence and there's also I watched a film about him by Derek Jarman, which was quite an interesting take on it. It was a very particular sort of interpretation of it, but I'd say probably Caravaggio, I think, or Bruegel. I mean Bruegel or Bosch also, because I went to see the Garden of Earthly Delights in the Prado last year, and that was just a joke. But I wanted to ask you both, because both of your practices, like, well, first of all, you're both so prolific. Like the work, the volume of work that you produce is like really impressive. For one,
I'm gonna keep this in.
But yeah, like the volume of work that you both produce is like absolutely nuts. I think like Ralph, you put up a video of like you working on a portrait like a couple of weeks ago or something, and it was just like seeing the behind the scenes was mad. But I was really interested in how you both um, sort of structure your plans in terms of like approaching a painting, because each painting, and this I think is maybe a common thread for both of you, that each painting is a separate event, so they tie together, but the narratives in each of your practices are very much unique and all encompassing for that work.
For me, it's very. Uh, I'm a very chaotic guy. I'm super chaotic. So what I need in my life is a lot of structure to balance it out. Else I'm nowhere.
I was just going to say, Heidi, how do you go about like planning paintings? Do you also like, is drawing a big part of the planning of it, or is it you just attack?
Actually, I have two different ways. Sometimes I have like these very good drawings that I will use for my paintings, and then I just have like idea drawings. I just like nobody would understand it, and nobody would see what it is, and it's like a writing underneath. I have a bunch of them, and then I just go about it. I'm very impatient, I think, and I think that's why I get so many works done.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The painting to visit.
Yeah. Do you have one yourself?
Yeah, and it's it's fitting, because we're talking about Belgium a lot. But James Enzor's The Return of Christ to Brussels in the Getty in Los Angeles. That's the baby to go and see right there.
Oh gosh, I can see why. Nowadays, I'm really checking out Paolo Cello, but your work also reminds me a little bit of Frits van den Bergen, I must say, and then the later period.
I didn't actually know his work very well, but I think I've seen a couple of them I might have seen a couple in the flesh, maybe in like the MSK in Ghent or something, or like the modern collection in Brussels. But I hadn't seen them before. I don't think I might have seen a couple in the flesh, but they're really nice. They're quite like they've got a bit of like a Marc Chagall vibe. Maybe a little bit more subdued tone.
Yeah, this guy. Yeah, that's true.
You know him, right?
Yeah, now I want to see the work. I'm so bad with names also.
Yeah, and his later period as well.
Like Odilon Redon, sort of like the intensity of it, or I don't know. But yeah, really nice.
But that reminds me of your work also, Blake. What am I saying? Ralph.
Yeah, Ralph.
That's my
Blake
son.
is her kid. Yeah.
Ralph is also one of my kids.
I'm one of her kids.
Well, you mentioned Paolo Uccello. Did you say, because there's did you mean the Battle of San Romano?
The Battle of San Romano, and then you only have two, I think, right?
I think there is three, because there's one in London, one in the Uffizi, and one in the Louvre.
Oh, I thought one was lost.
The one in the Louvre is like a little bit beaten up.
Yeah.
It's not in like, so the one in the Uffizi and the one in London are like really clean, like well preserved, conserved. But the one in Paris was a bit like knocked up.
Yeah, I think Paolo Cello is also is a very beautiful transition, really Byzantine kind of icons. Do you call them icons? To more Renaissance, because he was really fixed on perspective. It was right before that era that that they didn't know how perspective worked yet on 2D.
Yeah.
So it was very
just
fascinating.
on the brink. I thought he's really good. There's a couple of really nice Uccellos in London. There's one of St. George and the Dragon.
Yeah.
It's a little, it's like a little one, and that's like
iconic. That's a beautiful one as well.
So, are you married?
No, not married, unmarried, but I live with my girlfriend. My girlfriend Alice and I have just moved in together.
Ooh, cool.
We've been together for a couple of years, and we've known each other for quite a few years. We studied together at the Royal Drawing School in London,
okay.
and we lived together. We kind of moved into a place together in the summer near Camberwell, so like really nice, quite like a sort of like quieter, like more local sort of area of London, as opposed to sort of like crazy high street or something. It's just like it's like a little village basically, but basically that is London, just all these tiny villages. But yeah, Camberwell's just a really nice part of London, and it's got an art school there and stuff, so it's quite good.
Okay.
And we also we do like set design together as well. So we also like alongside our studio practices, we also do collaborative set design work.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, we kind of like refined our methodology, because at the beginning it was just a kind of free for all. We just kind of like, I'm going to put blue here, yada yada yada. But then I don't know. Eventually, it was like we've got a system kind of figured out, and so we just had an exhibition up for a couple of weeks, and that was quite fun. We made this like 14 meter by 3 meter backdrop painting, and then we put small paintings on top of it, and we made like hand cut wooden folding screens, and we painted both sides of them. So it's quite nice. But so we were using our flat to paint like the screens. So our living room was just like a car crash, crazy.
Wow.
But now it's like they're all out. They flew the coop. They're out in the world. Phew, that's like. Nice.
Did you grow up in Ireland or in
Yeah.
You grew up in Ireland.
I've been away for a while. Like my accent's also kind of all over the place, because I left Ireland when I was like 18, moved to Scotland, and then I hung about with a lot of people and just would spend
you speak Scottish?
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of my friends were from like Glenrothes or Selkirk or Dummydyke area, near this old place called the Bongo Club. I think that was down the road from it. But anyway, it was like I hung about with people with like they had very specific accents, which I took great pleasure in, because they all my friends had like these very heavy Scottish accents, but they were quite similar to like Northern Irish accents or Southern Irish accents. And also all accents really. I mean, in Belgium, like you go from like I don't know, like Ghent to Denze or Mechelen or whatever. All these accents are just so different, and it's the same in Ireland and Scotland, obviously. But anyway, I got really into all these different accents, and then suddenly it kind of a bit part of it sort of lingers on.
Can you do a Scottish accent then? Or do you
No,
have to
I think
focus on
if I had to try and do a Scottish accent, I'd probably revert back to this classic comedy sketch by a guy called Kevin Bridges. And I remember when I was like 15 years of age, this guy Kevin Bridges was just like it was just it was doing the rounds. Everyone was really big on it. But anyway, Kevin Bridges was like Saturday night, standing at a bus stop. This guy walking across the road takes one look at me and he shouts, "Oh, you, you, bad boy, Batty." I'm standing there at the bus stop, and I take a look to my right, a couple of OAPs, and I think, oh great, this one must be for me. But his delivery is just like dynamite. 'Cause it's just like really dry.
And the Irish, what is Irish?
Oh god, I mean, when I was a teenager, I used to play basketball a lot, and we used to go to this basketball camp in a place called Dungannon, and I always remember like there's all of this rivalry between the teams and like from different towns, and like my coach would be one of the guys running the camp, and he'd be making fun of other coaches, like, oh my god, I cannot understand what he's saying. All I can hear is and it's like, as an impressionable 13-year-old, you're like, okay, that's what everyone sounds like. But it's funny because the accents are like so precise, from like you drive like 10 minutes and it's a totally different ball game.
If you were being like in a TV reality show, which one would you select?
Reality TV is that's a whole other world. That's a parallel universe for me. But one of my friends from Edinburgh told me about a really good sounding reality TV show that I haven't watched, that I'd be up for signing up to. I think it was called Terrace House. And it's like I think it's like Japanese or something, and they're Basically, it's like Big Brother, but everyone's really polite. They're all really professional and really polite. And a few of my friends are telling me that. My friend Olivia Kemp was telling me about that, and my friend Oshin was telling me about that. So they really sold that. But yeah, I'm not really strong on reality TV, but that one sounded quite good. Terrace House.
I thought you would select ours show. But we have a small game for you that all the artists will have to do, or guest, and it's called the wrong answer. So we will ask you a question, and you have to give us the wrong answer, but it has to be relevant. So if I will ask you what's the capital city in England, what would you say? Manchester or something else? And
okay. But
you're
it could not be orange, because that has nothing to do with England, of course. So it has to be related as well.
Okay.
Relevant.
And then
so whatever we say,
you have
it has
to
to
justify
be related.
it. You have to justify it, or just let it fly?
Sorry?
Do you have to justify it, or do you just let it fly?
I don't understand that.
Let's say Manchester because...
No, you say Manchester. You're gonna you have to be quick, because you have to have as many correct answers as possible as well, or correct wrong answers.
And if you're right, then you hear this sound, because that's a wrong right answer. So that's your punishment.
And if you can't answer, you just say pass.
Yeah.
And you get the next question.
Okay, let's do it.
Wait.
We're going for... Is everyone focused? Heidi, do you have it? Oh, no, I don't need this one yet. And it will be starting in 3, 2, 1.
What's 2 plus 2?
17.
Who painted Mona Lisa?
Who actually did paint the Mona Lisa? I think it was Ralph Koch.
What's the capital city in France?
Liège.
Who is the first lady in the USA?
Mariah Carey.
What's your name?
Paolo Uccello.
How many legs does a dog have?
Too many.
What's fries made of?
Parsnips are parsnips.
What is the ketchup made of?
Oranges.
We have to stop.
Who sang like a virgin?
It's enough. 40 seconds, right? We did do 40 seconds, right, Heidi, or not?
I think so. Did you not time it?
Well, actually, I kind of, in the middle of it, I thought like, fuck, it should be within 40 seconds, of course. So I estimated it.
I tell you what, that game is actually, that's a good game, because you're like, you just want to give the right answer. Law-abiding citizen, you know?
But then you have to check it, Rob. You have to go back and check where was the...
Actually, I actually crossed it off now. You have 8 answers. Wrong or right?
Right.
Okay,
wrong,
right.
Right.
Right. You have 8 questions right, but on
points.
one I thought like that's not fine, because that's a right answer. I mean, too many. I mean, come on. 4 can also be too many.
Okay, so the problem we have here is with the timing.
But I'll look pretty gormless, just like, what is ketchup made of? I'm not sure.
Yeah, if you just do a long, why don't you just do a scene where you do wait, 3, 2, 1. Yes. Yeah, that's good. Okay.
I've got bad news. My phone battery is on 6%.
So you gotta go.
Okay, you gotta go. Yeah, we know when it's too.
Excuse,
we know when it's too much. We get all these reactions from people.
I'm gonna screenshot it for you. You'll see.
No, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it because I know this. This is happening every episode.
What?
I'm on the charger, so I can stay here all night.
Oh,
but I think my batteries of my computer is almost done.
So you're on the charger. Look, there it is.
Yes.
And great to discuss Belgian beer, James Ensor.
Britney Spears.
If we could get Mariah to share this on her socials, I think we'd do all right.
Oh my god, maybe we should do that. Oh my god, totally, yes.
And then she said, oh my gosh, they're talking about Britney also. No, I'm not gonna.
Jenny from the blog. Join. She did it all.
Yeah, I don't know how.
I don't know how.
She can't dance, she can't sing, but it's alright.
I think Cher said that once. Cher about Madonna. Like, I have a lot of respect, she said, for Madonna, because she's not really talented, she's not really a good dancer, she's not really a good writer, she's not really a good singer, and she still made it.
She's right, though. Sledgehammer. That's an absolute sledgehammer.
Yeah, kind of. Hey, but sweet Mark, thank you for coming on the show. It was very amazing.
Hey. Yeah, no, it's great. Yeah, great to meet you both, and it would definitely be good to meet up in person.
Yeah, absolutely. Always welcome.
Let us know if you come to Belgium.
Maybe we could all go paint shopping together, because that's what painters do.
Paint shopping?
We could go and buy.
Boring. That's so boring.
We could go and buy some in Holland.
Oh yes, please. Oh yeah.
Product placement.
I thought you wanted to try beer when you come to Belgium.
You could do that too, yeah. Oh yeah. Well, we can stop for a beer on the way to get some Old Holland.
What is your obsession with Old Holland?
Eh?
Paint is cheaper over here in Holland, isn't it? Because I always order from Holland.
Yeah.
Order online is half the price. Seriously.
Really?
Yeah. Some of the paints.
But from where?
They're like 9 or 10 euros, and then I buy it here. It's like 17 or 19, 18.
But which store?
But online, I can send you a link.
Oh, you don't want to do commercials? No, maybe.
Yeah, we can add it downstairs on the video. www.
Did you say downstairs on the video? Mark, again, it was great to have this conversation with you. And please let us know when you're in Belgium or the Netherlands or Norway. We will come over.
I will let you know if I go to London and see my daughter, and we can have a British ale.
British ale.
Perfect. Yeah, sounds great. Looking forward to it, guys. Well, great to meet you both, and have a great rest of your Sunday evening.
Yes, you too.
Peace and love.
You too. Hey, have fun.
For now. Chat soon.
Bye, Mark.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Ciao.
Bye.